Okay, y'all, I'm back. I am making videos on the regular-ish. So this is good. Last video wasn't doing very good. The cyclocross race that I won wasn't doing real good. We ended up with like almost 900 views, so we're getting back up that 1,000 view range, which would be really good. Would like to just see some more regular views on my stupid little channel. I let my kids watch my video and they said you need to stop saying stupid so much. So I'm gonna try not to say that as frequently. Y'all, I know in my last video 2 weeks ago at that last race, I said I thought I was coming down with something. I definitely got sick, and I'm currently still sick. I don't know what, it's like a cold. I don't feel good. I just checked my snot color, and it is like greenish brown, which means I am like, I'm just in the sickness. Another really bad indicator was the fact that this week I did some good workouts, hard workouts, but my heart rate was super elevated for power that shouldn't have been that elevated, which again is a really bad sign. It means that I'm sick and my body's working hard. Yeah, today is just gonna be a suffer fest. I'm in really good shape, at least I was, and I'm afraid that this sickness is gonna not bode well for me. I'm passing somebody with a cyclocross bike on the back of their car. I wonder where they're going. So yeah, I'm just not really confident, but I have been training well and my fitness is there, but we'll just see how the body reacts to a hard effort like this. I did some 2x20s on Monday. Power wasn't there. Tried some 5x5s on Wednesday at FTP, which isn't crazy, and those I had to bail. I had to quit. Did some openers yesterday and felt okay, but the heart rate was still elevated for the power, which everybody knows that once my heart rate gets to a certain level, like there's no more in my tank. I'm not pushing any harder than that. So I'm just gonna give it my best today, and we're gonna do the best we can with what we got. I love racing my bike. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm excited to do that. The plan, as always, is to win the race. Signed up for the intermediate Cat 3-4 race again, and just ready to rock and roll and give it all I've got. Let's get to Sherman, Texas. Let's go race bikes, and I will see y'all in a bit. Alright, y'all, we are in Sherman, Texas. Check out this course. I brought the drone for some more sweet drone footage. This is kind of like the start area. Y'all, this is really like one of the only open sections. There's the reunion short bus that the Bradbury drives. But yeah, check it out. Pretty sweet course. This is kind of a overhead shot of the wooded section, where it got a little muddy, but nothing crazy. And yeah, you can see the rest of the course there kind of going off into the trees. So overall, a pretty heavily wooded course with very few open sections here. Those are really the only, I don't know, significant straightaways we had right there, and they're really not significant. So overall, a relatively technical course. Just another shot of the short bus, kind of the start finish there on the right. And I think I'll zoom in here in a minute. We'll kind of get down there close to the trees, kind of see where the course goes down there into the trees. But this is kind of the high point, and then kind of down there further back, it kind of goes downhill. So it was a little uphill run to this area here. This was, I want to say this is right after the first race, so the course is not super broken in yet. It's not too established. It was still a little rough, but by the time we got to racing, as you'll see in a minute, it looks pretty awesome, pretty well established at that point. You want some YouTube screen time? Yeah. What's your name? Michael.
Alex Greenwell.
All right, y'all, there's some of the friends I made. Let's start this bad boy. And my start is awesome. I did not expect to have this good a start, but almost tap 1,000 watts there. And I take the inside corner here to make sure I can kind of stay there. And then I realize, man, I've got the whole shot. I don't really want that. I don't want that pressure right out of the gate. So I kind of ease off here, and I let this gentleman in the Latinis kit come around, I think on the outside here. And honestly, like, I didn't mind being second or third here. I just didn't really want to go into the technical section in first. I wanted to get a feel for everybody else. And yeah, I just didn't want that pressure right away of attempting to ride away from everybody. I didn't know how my body was going to feel, as I said in the pre-race chat, but yeah, as the title probably can tell at this point, like, the race goes really well for me because I win. All right, so I follow this guy around for a little bit, and I quickly realize I'm a little bit quicker than he is, and so I'm already starting to think about spots to pass, but nobody's trying to pass me, so I'm not too concerned right now. I'm just kind of hanging out. Heart rate is not extremely high for me. So, no complaints yet. Here in a minute, we're going to dive down into this low section, where it was the only point of the whole race I had to get off my bike just because of the hill. Thought about going around him right there and didn't. But,
come on, Jason.
Yeah, we're going to go down here. Also realized my disc brakes were super squishy. At least my front one was. So I was basically riding with only a rear brake. So here's the only section we had to dismount here. And yeah, really not too crazy. But I think here in a second, I'm going to go ahead and make the pass and run into first here. Yeah, here it is. All right, so I come around him, and this section, I think, if it's what I think it is, no. Okay, this is an uphill section, so if you watch the wattage here, I mean, it's going to get 500 watts for a second or two going up this hill. I knew beforehand, I did a little pre-ride, I knew that these uphill sections, I would have to really capitalize here and use that roadie power, and just kind of, yeah, just use these sections to try to create any separation. I think I can hear people behind me still here, so I don't really have a big plan other than just to kind of ride my race. At some point here, I don't know if there's a crash behind me, but I think some people get caught up, and all of a sudden some separation happens. And when the separation happens, man, I think I realize there's a gap, and I just decide, okay, I guess I'm going to ride away from this one. So here's the downhill section, which, man, we just flew through right here. It doesn't look that fast, but it was. On some relatively sketchy little terrain there, because the grass was super uneven, and yeah, was just sketch. But a blast. Here's the other, I don't know, semi-technical section here. Kind of dip back into this lower area here. Hard right there. Almost take out the barrier, and then we go down this little off-camber section, which if you pre-rode, you knew, just kind of take it wide, go up there, and then cut right. So, yeah, and then up here, this next section, nothing crazy here. There's a few more sections where I was able to apply some power on an uphill section. And they actually put a few obstacles out here, unless they were already there. But there's a small tree here, nothing crazy, just right over that. And then here in a minute, there's a nice little sized log. During the pre-ride, no one was going over it. But I realized pretty quickly, if I stayed to the right, I could go over it no problem. All those years of BMX skills, there it was, coming in to play here. But yeah, another uphill section here, so I'm applying those watts. And just doing my best to keep my head down and do some work here. There's a section here in a minute, I think right here, we're going to come out of the woods, or at some point we're going to kind of come out of the woods, and it really provided a good moment to kind of catch up on the other competition and see where everybody was. By the end of the race, I really had to use that section to gauge my gap. And by lap 4 or 5, the gap was staying about the same. So here's the start finish. That is one lap, and doing them in about 5 minutes or so. My lap without the starting area was like 4:40, kind of average-ish. The video itself is going to be pretty darn short because once I'm in first, guess what? That's where I'm going to stay. The only thing I really kept in here are the 2 times, yes, that's correct, 2 times I passed Bradbury and, some of the fun technical sections that we go through. Here I almost eat it. I go to take my leg off, my shorts get caught on my saddle, and maybe that wasn't it. Maybe it's the next lap. Yeah, one of these laps, my shorts get caught, and I almost eat it into the fence and have to kind of like regain it. And yeah, so here's that section I'm able to look back. We cross right here, we kind of go through the woods for a minute, then we come back out, and that's when I had that chance to look over to my right and see what the gap was every time. Man, Bradbury made fun of me because when I passed him, I was drooling on myself. There it is. I can look to the right and see where everybody else is. But man, I was just in the hurt locker the whole time. There's also a guy that heckles me during the race, which, as y'all know, I love some heckling. But the guy calls me a sandbag. Doesn't call me a sandbagger, but he tells me to cat up in the middle of the race. I don't disagree with you, good sir. I feel like a cat up at this point would be good. Loved that corner. I would just rail that hard. That was a great section just to really open up. Just a little bit of reckless abandon here. That could have been my heckler over there on the right. I think I left that section unedited here, so we'll just let that play, I think. Really loved this area. I was just able to really hammer it. Okay, is this where I'm gonna almost crash? That was not my best line there. Oh, there it is. into the tape, but right back up the hill. So recovered quick. Heart rate is in the low 160s, and that's right at threshold. I am not paying attention to my heart rate for the most part, except for when this guy heckles me and he asks me what my heart rate was, so I told him. Yeah, the way categories work.
No, I'm trying. You're not even breathing. Heart rate's jacked. Oh.
That was my heckler. Yeah, the way categories work in cyclocross is, these aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? This is not a USAC race. So, by USAC standards, I'm a Cat 4, I think, cyclocross, but, yeah, categories are just jacked up. If I race any of these races again that are non-USAC, I will definitely race, the A race, if that's an option, the 1-2 race. Even though I guess I'm not really a cyclocross 1-2 racer, I don't know. Who knows, I may even submit like an upgrade to USAC for cyclocross, even though this wasn't a USAC race. Oh man, yeah, I almost ate it there too. And that's where I kind of jacked up my camera. I think my knee hit the camera, and I knocked the lens down. So now we just stare at my top tube and my bars for the most part for the rest of the race. We're coming up on the Bradbury pass here. We'll just let this play out.
What are you doing later? Go around! I love you, bud.
And that was Bradbury Pass number 1.
Race leader, number 315, Jacob Evans.
I think we may be 38 minutes in here, so this is going to be our last lap. We ended up doing, I think we ended up doing 9 laps total. My laps were super even. As we got towards laps 7, 8, and 9, I think 8 and 9, I really did some work to sustain the gap that I could see, and really dropped the hammer the last 2 laps to make sure that I didn't fall into a false sense of security. I wanted to make sure I kept it there. Here comes our good friend Bradbury.
Good job, buddy.
I tell him, great job. He doesn't like that. He goes, seriously? Yes, seriously, Jason. Good job, buddy. But everybody was super polite, you know, let me through for the most part. Didn't have any trouble getting around people, so that was awesome. These races, if you have not done cyclocross, you need to try this sport out. It is just awesome. The only problem is you kind of need a cyclocross bike, and most people don't have one. It was a good excuse for me to have a gravel/cyclocross bike, right? And that's what I do. This is mainly my gravel rig, except for this time of year where I put the knobbies on it and my nice carbon rims and do this.
Give me on your left. Thank you.
Man, just trying hard not to let up here, just to stay on it. Looked over to the right one last time, saw the gap was still there, so now I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling confident, unless something goes wrong here in mechanicals. This is where it's finally setting in that it is very, very likely that I'm going to win this race unless I just absolutely crap the bed. But I am feeling good, ready to finish this thing, but man, I'm just so excited here that I think I'm actually going to win this. You know, I genuinely did not think there was a chance I was going to win this going into it. With how I was feeling this week and just being sick, yeah, I just did not feel good about it. But somehow I pulled it off, y'all. Freaking awesome. Cannot wait to get my hands on that state jersey. It's going to be awesome. They're making, I think it's a long sleeve, like, thermal jersey, which is super cool. I don't have one of those, and it'll just be awesome to have one. Unfortunately, I haven't trained outside since the state road race. I've been Zwifting. Maybe this is a good ad for Zwift. I don't know. Clearly my bike handling skills are okay. Putting that power in to get up this hill one last time. Got a sweet podium shot here at the end. Yeah, this was a fun video to make, albeit a little bit boring. So, hope you guys enjoyed this stuff. I don't know if I'm going to have too many regular videos here in the near future. I'm doing Rudolph's Revenge next week, which is a 40-mile mountain bike race. It's like 10 to 20 miles of gravel and stuff, and then 20 miles of basically single track, technical single track. And so I think there's a really good chance I could do well. I would be extremely happy if I got a podium at this race. Not sure that's going to happen. But y'all know me. I'm going to give it my best. I have that new mountain bike, and I can't wait to test it out. So I don't know how that video is going to work either, because the race is so long that I can't record the whole thing. So I may just record the end of it or just the beginning, or I don't know what, none of it. But it's going to be a good time. So Here's the win for the Cat 3-4 Cyclocross State Champ. We're going to call it Intermediate Cyclocross State Champ because there really are no cats out here. So, race is done, and I am breathing like a fat kid in gym class. You know, I am just toasted. 163 heart rate, done. Let's see where that podium shot is. Come on, podium shot. There it goes. Anyway, check it out, y'all. Top Step, love it. Thanks to McKinney Velo for encouraging me to do this. Appreciate you guys, and I'm going to get out of here. See y'all on the next one. Later, y'all. Y'all, I am the Texas Cat 3-4 Cyclocross State Champion. That's crazy. I would say it's time for a decent off-season, but that's not really true either because next week I have Rudolph's Revenge that I've been training pretty hard for as well, albeit with not a lot of endurance stuff, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. But I'm going to go out there and give that a try as well on my brand new Carbon Canyon mountain bike. I think it's back there in the back. Can you see it hanging up? Anyway, all right, guys, thanks for watching my channel. Like and subscribe and do all the stuff we have to do for YouTube to pay me. Side note, I've made like $15, but I found out that for YouTube to actually send you money, you have to make $100. So I still haven't actually received any money from YouTube. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Later, y'all.